Mr. Emerson, what would you like to say?
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I want to say thank you to Christine, Stephen, and Allison for your words. They deeply impact me. I have learned in recovery that I have to be willing to go to any length to remain sober. And that is part of this process. I plead no contest because even though I had no intention of harming anybody, I still made the decision to take psilocybin, and that led to my inability to determine that I was operating in reality for an extended period of time. That doesn't make this right. What happened was wrong and should not have happened, and I bear the responsibility for that. Your words, Allison and Stephen through Allison and Christine, will help me continue to live my life one day at a time, trying to progress and become better. I regret the harm that I caused. I regret the harm I caused to every single person on board that airplane, crew members and guests. I regret the harm I caused to society, which is part of what this process is about. This has affected people who were not on that airplane. I regret the harm I caused to my profession, the thing I gave my life to, and to those professional crew members each and every day who do fantastic work, especially to the 2 pilots up front who removed my hands and asked me to leave the flight deck, which I did. I am forever grateful to them and grateful to every guest on that airplane for listening to the instructions of the 2 flight attendant crew members in the back, because they saved my life. This difficult journey has made me a better father, a better husband, a better member of my community. And I lost, from all external perspectives, everything I had ever worked for. But it's the greatest gift that I ever got. Because today I get to be the dad I was incapable of when I had to use alcohol to deal with life as life is. Today I intend not to use alcohol to deal with life as life is. And I'm grateful for that. I thank you for your time allowing me to address the court. I am more than happy to speak to as many schools as possible for the rest of my life. I will speak to pilots who suffer in silence. I will speak to people who think, as I did on October the 20th, that I had everything under control, but I was incapable of grasping that I needed help. I'm glad I have had the help today as a result of my actions. Thank you.
I'd like to hear a little bit more about the nonprofit that you started.
Sure. Clear Skies Ahead is a nonprofit committed to creating a culture of wellness within aviation, both physical and mental health. The first time I saw my wife after being detained and in custody through glass, she had spoken to some media and had talked about what her experience was of me prior to this incident. And she said, "I feel called to help." And I had never heard her talk like that. And it touched me deeply, and I said, I would like to help as well. Upon my release, pre-trial, as I was entering inpatient treatment for alcohol use disorder, I had a conference call with a friend of mine who started a nonprofit, and he helped sponsor and develop and grow. He brought his executive director on board.
I think I read that letter, maybe.
I haven't. I'd love to read. I want to see the rest of the ARC recommendations that came out of the NTSB right term for it. I would like to see all of the recommendations implemented. In the report to the FAA, it was stated that all of the recommendations are interconnected and all need to be implemented. And I applaud their efforts and hope to continue to see more efforts in aeromedical certification of aviators. They can make all the changes they want. Until we change as a culture, it won't matter. And that is why we exist. We exist because one of the statements in that ARC, Aviation Rulemaking Committee document, stated that a culture of wellness will take many different organizations with strong effort to move the needle. Aviators should get the care that they need because they are more than just aviators. They are worth so much more than just piloting an airplane. I will likely never pilot an airplane again. And I am okay. I am so much better today standing before you than I've ever been. And I hope that my life will slowly allow Stephen and Allison and Christina and the rest of the passengers to forgive me.